Kia ora. Kia ora, New Zealand. My apologies. I think we're back. We'll just wait for people to rejoin. Morgan, I got the blue screen of death.
Yeah, that's no good, Matt. That's no good at all.
Which is frustrating. Hopefully, people will see that we've come back again. So apologies for that.
I'm just getting up in the chat there, seeing if everyone's back or they're coming back. It's not a Sweet Chan episode recently if we don't have some sort of technical difficulty. But you know what? We will get there, and we will still be here every Thursday, 9-ish p.m.
We shall try.
To give you some good disc golf content, guys.
Unfortunately, I'm trying to run this off a potato, it would seem, and it's really kind of not playing ball. It is about 6 years old, this machine, so I guess I can't complain too much. It does all right. Anthony, you're not late. Well, you are, but fortunately for you, you've not missed anything. We ran into a few technical difficulties whilst going through hot scores. Yeah, I blame Maverick as well, Tom. That's who I'm laying the blame on.
Rough chat. Hey, chat, can someone let us know in the chat, where did we get to with hot scores? Did I even get going, or did Matt kick me out here right off the bat? He'd had enough of me. Let me know, and we'll start hot scores again. Or Matt, what do you reckon? I reckon I might just kick straight back into these right off the top.
Yeah, go from the top again. Because I'm pretty sure. I think you got a little way.
We got to the Queenstown Gardens, says Tom Strawberry. So we'll go straight back to the Queenstown Gardens just to kick it off there again. Stiffmeister this week with an 11 under par taking down the Gardens. Lismore Park, and we've got Connor with the 12 under par. 4 people this week at Jelly Park. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. We've got Jeremy Brockenshire, Phil Bother, Maxime Tajin, or Tanj. Max, you really got to tell me how to pronounce this, bro. And Logan, all shooting a 16 under par this week at Jelly Park. Warren Park, and we've got Mr. Sam Cole with a 12 under par. Another 12 under par gets the job done at Smallbone Reserve with KBG. And Queen's Park Reserve, and we've got Louis Stridham and at Foxy, both shooting 5 under par to round out the south. Let's head up to the north, Matt.
Starting off in Berhampore, in the capital, Brett Carlisle and the man, the myth, the legend, Simon Fogarty hit 7 under par this week in the hills. Over the water at Hikoikoi, Intrepid and Brendan Swift. Tie for the hot score with La Flama with a score of 23, 4 under. Up to Harcourt and Upper Hutt, and it's Matt Broughton who hits 8 under par at Harcourt Park. Good score there. Up to Linklater, and it's Johnny Wake who hits 10 under par. He'll be coming down to GCO this weekend. Looking forward to it. Over at Maryland's, and it's Kona and Jed who hit 2 under par. Spa Park Black, Steve Lawson goes round in +1. Richard Waterton hits Henderson for -8. Jamie is the king of Woodhill with a 4 under par. And Ad Nauseum goes round Rosedale at 5 under par. So well done to anybody who got a hot score this weekend. There's plenty of tournaments this time of year. Morgan, we were talking just before the break about how you're on this is week 3 of 5, isn't it, on the bounce? Have I got that right?
Yeah, sure. We've got GCO, Armageddon, and this is week 3 here. GCO, Armageddon, and then Montana Flat to round out the 5-peat.
The 5-peat.
Looking forward to it.
Indeed.
The 5-peat.
I mean, and there were 2 tournaments that we had at the weekend, so let's kick off with those. Now, one of them was at Makaripi, up in Rotorua, and the Scion Tree Nursery. But I want to start down south, which is the one that you played in, which was
Queenstown Classic, the 29th.
Which was the Queenstown Classic. So here are the results. Quite a small MPO field.
Yeah, really, really small. I'd love to have seen more people there, but is what it is. We got a full field of players to fill the whole tournament at 83 players. I think one person pulled out near the end there. They did start but didn't finish, I believe. 83. No, happy. Good numbers. Could have been more in MPO, and they probably would have taken me if they had come and played, to be fair.
Well, we were talking last week about how you would need to shoot sort of consistently 12 to 14 down on every single round in order to take this one out, and that's exactly what Mikey you did, and no one else did. In MPO, it's worth saying.
Well, I've said it for years. You have to be doing bare minimum 10 under par just to be in the running. You know what I mean? And excuse me, I played with Mikey a couple of rounds, obviously on the Sunday on lead card, we'll call it. I guess it was. And he missed a few shots out there. You know, like he really could have been closer to the neg 50 mark without a few silly errors. But obviously, scroll slightly down further into MP40, MTFE2 with also minus 42. These guys had a playoff after the tournament, which Mikey took down with a nice birdie versus par in front of the gallery of the tourney.
Yeah, so Mikey takes it out relatively easily, shooting the hot round of the tournament tied with Hemi at 10-13, and kind of walked comfortably. Yourself came in second out of the rest of MPO, but there's quite a gap there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it started off with Mikey blowing us out the water on day one, so day two was kind of a fresh sheet, fresh page, as you will, and it was really just me versus Trent and Jaden at that point, just trying to battle it out for that second and third spots, and Menzies fell away a wee bit there, as you can see, and Trent and I battled out right till the very end, till the last 3 holes, I think, so, yeah.
In MP40, Chris Dixon and Peter Mackay had a good battle going into the final round. Looks like Chris and Pete were tied going into the final round with Chris taking it in round 4.
Yeah, and I mean Steve Tate started off with a really hot 1002 rated 53, highest rated round of the MP40s for the weekend, and yeah, some people seen it coming, some didn't. He couldn't quite hold on to keep up there with Hemi and Chris and Smokey, but good start for him.
Down in MA1, and it's Generation Disc Golf's Jin Kato who takes out this division. Very good performance by him. Yeah,
man, Jin's on the mission to try and win the NZDG Tour in the MA1 division, and I tell you what, the scores, the results that he's putting in are really going to put him in a good position for that. I haven't looked up the overall stats in the last little while, but he must be right there with his last few placings.
Yeah, and a good performance by Adam Rhymes as well, shooting over his rating. We mentioned him last week.
Yeah, it doesn't matter about his rating, man. All he cares about is he beat me. that's literally all
bragging rights until the next weekend. Bragging rights.
Yeah, that's right.
I've kept Leanna up here because she obviously played the same course as the other ladies, so it acts as a better way here. So Alison Tweedy takes out the overall ladies with a 6 under par. This is a great result for Alison.
Yeah, really, really good.
And sort of had a lead right from the start and kind of kept it. Really, it was played well enough. Did you speak to her, or did you see any of this play? Was it kind of like this, or did Alison have a lead for most of it?
I did. I sort of caught up with both her and Victoria almost after every round, just to, not for any specific chat, just to have a chat. And I think both of them weren't too happy with their play, but I think unless Alison shoots 18 birdies, that's going to be the chat that you get out of her week in, week out. She expects the absolute world from herself.
Absolutely.
That's how you breed a champion right there, with that attitude.
Absolutely. And good to see Leanna coming back. Had a struggle on round 4. Was that the injury playing back up again? Do we know?
I didn't catch up with her in the back end of day on Sunday, so I couldn't tell you. Sorry.
Okay. Moving down then to MA40 and Stuart Gilchrist. I think we called this.
Definitely called this one.
Took out this division fairly comfortably over Jason Packer, who played well over Barry Van Beek and Russell King. Some good company there for Jason to be keeping. Down to FA40, and Deb Mills takes out the division fairly comfortably. Jeff Lewis wins MA50 by 7 shots over Akira Kuro and Joshua Walker in 3rd.
Yep, yeah, Jeff just put his foot down at the end there on that last round and solidified his spot.
And Rob Tadman wins in MA2 by 12 shots over Alan Megatron.
Yeah, shout out to Tasman there taking that one down. He's pretty psyched. Very, very happy for him. We're trying to talk him into maybe signing up for MPO at Armageddon.
Mm-hmm.
If you're watching, Rob, come on.
Excellent.
Since that's the only division left that you could register in, I believe there's 1 or 2 spots left there.
Oh, really?
MPO, actually, if anyone's looking, there's a couple of people have pulled out. There was 4 spots. Now I believe there's 2, possibly 3 spots left, but they're only in those top 2 divisions. So jump on those if you want them.
Yeah. Excellent. And that's next weekend. So be quick. Over into the juniors, and Hinato Kudo it wins by 4 shots over Connor Rance. This is an upset. I guess it sort of is.
I don't know if it's upset, man. Like people like myself around Queenstown who do get to see Hinato playing, and he gets to play with big bro Haru. It's not shocking. It's a great result.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Okay,
great result.
That's fair. And some good battles further down in the junior division as well. With between Carter, Alexis, and Dylan. Yeah. Right, we're going to head up north now to Makaripi, where this was played in Rotorua at the Scion Tree Nursery, and there was some pretty good disc golf played this weekend there. Joseph Berry takes out MPO by 3 shots over Johnny Wake, thanks to 2 10-30 rated rounds. Which is incredible shooting. So well done to Joe.
That's definitely a hot topic leading into this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, so Joe's playing this weekend, and Johnny Wake's playing this weekend.
And Johnny.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how those two go. DNFs, unfortunately, from Simon Feasy and Jackson Sullivan. Neither of those two playing this weekend, so it kind of opens the door for actually the winners. We'll discuss who can take out this weekend a little bit later. But really, there's I think it's a bit of a wide open field, honestly. Luke Hempel and Mark Dack have some distance back. Matthew Masters tied for 4th as well. In MA1, Josh Pratt and Callum Petman go to a playoff, with Josh taking out the MA1 title. John O'Crawford just 1 shot back. Luke Humphreys and Aidan Barnes round out the top 5. In FA1, Charlotte Dunkley and Michaela Kerr both tie on +9, with Charlotte Dunkley taking out the playoff. It's worth perhaps saying that Michelle Simpson played in MA50 and played on the same layout as FA1 and came away with +2. So well done.
Yeah,
well done to Michelle.
Nice.
Ryan Kitto takes out Steve Lawson and Brad Taylor in MA40. He was very quick to remind us in the comments earlier on about the three-peat. So well done to Ryan.
I believe that I'm sure you must have got a message, because I got a message as soon as it happened. You picked the wrong horse, he said. You picked the wrong horse.
Yeah, look, we need to start picking him more, eh? So look, great victory by Ryan. He's playing some really good disc golf. His step putts are a thing, which actually came up in the news recently about step putts. I don't know if you saw if you saw that or not.
I've seen flying Kristen Tatar, I believe.
That's right. Yeah. But honestly, step putt, they're really difficult, to be able to tell if somebody's got a plant foot when they let go of those step putts in some cases. So yeah,
you really got to have a camera on it, really, with the slow mo and everything, if you're gonna really call someone. Yeah,
and that's not really practical. In FA40, Amy Whitmore takes out the victory, predictably by quite a margin. MA50, Chris Kingsnorth, takes out the victory over Andy Brewster. And in MA2, Forrest Dunn and Nathaniel Crawford have a good battle at the top, with Forrest edging it by a shot, holding on to a lead going into the final round. FA2, Lacey Ann Sims with a comfortable victory, and Taylor Kemen and Damian Wilson battle it out at the top of MA3, with Taylor coming back by 5 shots in the final round, actually. Excuse me. So well done to to Taylor for taking that out in the last throws of that. Right, let's check. I think our guests are all in the green room, ready to go. I'm getting some thumbs up to say that we're all good. Excellent.
Quick, let him finish his cookie.
Let's bring them in. So, good evening to all of our guests in Christchurch. We've got Maverick, Avery, and Ella Hansen. Can you hear us? Okay.
Yep.
Hear you great.
Excellent. Ella, we can see about half of your face. I wonder if there's room for you just to shuffle in a little bit more to your right, I think it'll be.
Well, it's resting my head.
Excellent. First up, good evening to you all, and thank you so much for joining us. You must be exhausted. You've had quite a bit of travel, and you've been pretty busy last couple of days, I've heard.
We find a way to keep busy. It's always disc golf related adventures, and if we're not practicing, we're trying to hunt down courses. You know this. But yeah, today was our first practice round at Hagley, and got that in fairly early in the afternoon. Then did some sightseeing around Christchurch, showing Ella around town, and just kind of taking it in. Then we had a players' party and kind of opening ceremonies at Robbie's Sports Bar, so that was a lot of fun too. Yeah. So let's get back.
Fantastic.
Well, I got to see a couple of clips. You guys having a bit of a chat there. There's obviously a few players in attendance.
Yeah, it was a full back room where they had us kind of gathered. There's probably 40, 50 people back there. It was pretty good.
That's great to hear.
When did you arrive? Is it Tuesday? Tuesday morning?
Yeah, we got in Tuesday early afternoon. Yeah, this is my first time in New Zealand. I'm enjoying it quite a bit so far. I'm excited to get the tournament started too.
Welcome to our country. We hope you have a fantastic time while you're here. Maverick, you're welcome back anytime. All right, bro.
I love it.
Maverick and Avery, you've played this course, or at least a hybrid of this course last year. Ella, it was your first go round today, I think. How did you find it?
It was a lot of fun. Some good shots, good use of the course and the trees and everything that's there. And I think a really good variety of different types of holes, different types of shots. It was very windy for our first most part of the practice round, so I'm curious to see how it's going to play a little more still. But I think it's also going to be pretty windy this weekend. So the practice doesn't necessarily tell me everything about how the course is going to play, but I think it should be a good one.
I mean, the tournament's about 7 or 8 weeks later in the year than it was the last time that you guys came, and that 7 or 8 weeks makes a real difference in some parts of the country as to the types of the type of weather you get. Certainly up here in Wellington, that's what we find. It's got very cold now.
Yeah, this is the latest we've ever been here. Been here 3 times now. It's usually in January, February, summer, and you see we're in jackets and pants, and it's cold. It's cold comparative, and even last year it was a roaster.
And so you had the clinics on Tuesday, is that right? And then one on Wednesday, have I got that right? How did they go?
Yep. It went great. It was super fun. Had a good turnout, even on Wednesday when it got pretty cold. And went through a lot of putting, driving, approaching. It was awesome to give some one-on-one feedback as well. Even though I left with my bag, got peed on the first day.
I heard about this.
But not by him and by a dog, sorry. Just to make sure everybody knows that.
Not some local Cantabrian.
But, it was great. Good, super good turnout. Really fun.
Fantastic. And so, what have you been doing since, like, apart from the clinics? Have you had a chance to have an explore, or has it been kind of get here, relax, do what you need to do, but then prepare for this weekend?
It's been a lot of catching up with the people that we met last year, the connections that we had made. Just seeing what has happened in the last year within the disc golf community of New Zealand. We talked about like what's happened even in the South Island, which is where we were at last year, and there's been 11 new courses put in since we were here the last time.
Yeah.
So, like, being able to rip around last year and try and knock out all of them, to have 11 more in 1 year is like an incredible example of the growth of the sport within the country. So it's been cool to kind of understand that more, and I hope that we are able to like make a further impact going forward, especially with this trip.
Yeah, and Matt, you've obviously you helped me out a lot with Roxburgh, dealing with that, and you yourself have had a lot of ongoings and parts and reasons why a lot of this growth is happening in this country. So, especially from me, but from everyone else that's been involved, we want to say thank you to you, especially. Not taking anything away from the other guys, but you've been really instrumental in the background and making so much happen out here.
More disc to the people. That's what we need. All right.
Absolutely. So actually, something that I was quite interested in is, I think we do. Something that I am quite interested in is I saw the baskets being played on this weekend are slightly different to the ones that I think people in New Zealand might well have played on before. Can you talk us through a little bit about that? What they are? They're quite new for a lot of people.
Yeah, no, there's a new banded basket on the islands these days with the new installation of Hagley. They're permanent disc golf park pro targets out there on the G layout, and something different, something new in obviously a country full of one particular basket. This is a kind of a change. It's got a beautiful look to it, and I think the players are really enjoying the performance and how these baskets are, catching out there.
Yeah, I mean they look great. The red is really striking. Like it really stands out. I think. And if you're kind of going through the park and you're not really paying much attention, you might miss one of the other baskets. But with this big red band on it, I mean you don't want to go near it normally if you're playing, but it's really striking and kind of very easy to see. So I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, talk to us about that. Sorry,
it's going to be
after you, Mav. After you.
It is going to shake them up a little bit, huh? It's been something in the works for a while, and we're happy to add to the culture that is New Zealand disc golf. And these are all New Zealand sourced baskets. Okay, this is not another company coming in, shipping in a basket. This is New Zealand manufactured, which I know is a major aspect of this country and an important piece of the story that we're going to build with these disc golf park targets in the future.
So they've been manufactured in New Zealand, obviously designed. You take a Discmania design, or is it a Discmania or a disc golf park? Disc golf park design.
Disc golf by Discmania. Okay. So it is a Discmania mother company, but disc golf park's the course design side of the company. And to embrace that and bring it into a new country, as we've done with a lot of other countries throughout the world. We're a global company, a global disc company, global course design company, and it's great just to get our products out there and let players experience those, especially at the biggest tournaments at the highest level. And we're excited to see new baskets out there at Hagley.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
Fantastic.
So when you, I don't know how much you want to or can get it, but like manufacturing, who is this? What is this? Local company? Any inside scoop, or are we going to leave that one sit for now?
Local company out of Christchurch.
Fantastic.
Copy that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
They're all in the works. I'm sure there'll be a major press release in the future, but this is going to be the first iteration and kind of a sample of our baskets within this country.
All right.
And a fantastic tournament to showcase them on.
Unveil.
Yeah, and chat. I mean, you're going to be the players of the tournament are going to be the ones that are going to kind of have the say on kind of how successful they are, right? Because they're going to go, we liked them or we didn't or whatever. And I mean, they look great. I assume they catch great. You wouldn't have put all the work into the design and etc. if they didn't, or the effort to bring them across if they didn't. So, chat. next week after you've played this event, let us know how did the baskets go. We'd love to hear a bit more. And fantastic to know that they're manufactured in New Zealand as well. I think that makes it far easier then to get them into other courses, new courses which are going to be put in. You touched that there's been quite a few built recently, so yeah.
Yeah, this basket has been viewed as the international standard, incredibly popular in Europe, and specs are identical with the ones produced here in New Zealand.
Fantastic.
So the incredible success with them, and we're excited to see how they go in the future.
Yeah, and they have to be identical, don't they? Because they come out to your manufacturer specifications, which are approved by PDGA. So they're not like a look-alike imitation that's close. They are exactly what you guys do, just with someone else building them.
Correct.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Ella, I'd like to come to you about this tournament's kind of not quite mid-season, but you've already played some fairly serious, important events, and then you've come here, and then you're going back, all in a pretty short period of time. How does it feel? How's it been so far?
So far, it's been good. I mean, I had it's been a little chaotic. I was planning to fly out. My flight from Austin to Dallas was supposed to be at 8:30 p.m. on Sunday night. My round ended at around 5:30. My flight got delayed, so I ended up having to drive up to Dallas 3 hours to catch my flight over to Auckland. But we made it. We got on the plane plenty of time, so it was a little stressful, a little chaotic, but yeah, I'm really excited to be here. It's a nice little break to have, and not break, sort of a little new adventure in my early season, and it might be a little bit of an adjustment on the way back, but definitely worth it getting down here, and I'm super grateful to be here.
Yeah, you've started the year off pretty thick and fast. I'm just looking over at your PDGA page right here, starting off on 17th of February at the All-Stars weekend. And then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 events later at the 21st of March, so 4 weeks later, and you're already out here for number 7. So, yeah. And some really good results in there, obviously chess.com coming in second there, and All-Stars weekend second again there. So I think you'll be looking to be taking a big win this weekend.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, it's should be a fun course. I'm looking forward to playing it and hopefully putting down some good scores.
Fantastic.
Outside of this weekend, obviously your goal is to win this weekend. Have you got any specific goals outside of the obvious ones like win worlds or whatever? But have you got any specific goals for this season that you've that you're aiming for?
I mean, I think it's kind of been eluding me, but my first big win, I'd love to get that taken down. I think for me as a player, like, making sure that I'm competing and enjoying myself at every tournament. I think that that can be kind of hard with the amount of tournaments we play back to back. It sometimes is hard to kind of stay focused. So I feel like I give myself the biggest chance of success if I'm focused, having a good time, taking care of my body and my mind. And that's kind of the goal overall. And hopefully if I keep doing that, that'll lead to a win.
Nice.
Yeah. And do you miss playing Ultimate?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's super fun. Miss running around. I miss having the kind of sense of the team camaraderie and all that. I actually have a jersey that I brought with me from a New Zealand jersey that I traded at my last World Championship in Germany. With a player on the New Zealand national team whose last name was also Hansen. So we traded jerseys, and I still have that, brought it with me, and it's a little small, but I try to wear it as often as I can.
Do you know who that is, Matt?
I don't. No. I don't. Although I have been to the those jersey trade events at the only World Championships I played in was World Masters in 2018, and that one was great. And again, I came away with some very small shirts there because I thought they looked cool. It's just what you do. But there we go. So You've got your bags drying off. Are you intending to throw the same kind of stuff as you would in the US tour? You're just bringing it straight across. Is there anything new that you've been practicing with, or that you're trying to incorporate, or have you got a kind of stock? I don't know, maybe 20 or so discs, and you stick to those.
Yeah, I did not make any changes from that last round of U.S. women's. Just threw my bag on the plane basically and got here. Didn't bring any other backup, so hopefully I don't lose anything. I'm sure we can get it hooked up if I really need an extra disc or something. But yeah, no, I'm pretty much same stuff. This course is pretty long, so a lot of drivers out here. Didn't really touch a mid too much in my practice round today, so there'll be a lot of big power shots, a lot of DD3s, cloud breakers, PDs, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think it's actually probably quite a tough course to lose a disc on unless you throw it, sort of yeet it into a tree.
Touch wood.
I mean, that's really the only way you. I mean, there's no water to throw it into from memory, so you know that's not going to happen. You could throw it on the road, I suppose, but. Yeah, it should be fairly safe. Avery, looking forward to competing this weekend?
Looking forward to getting another chance at this course, honestly. Last year, it didn't go so hot, and I was just, coming out cold. Mm-hmm. This is, again, my first tournament-sanctioned event of the season. Wow. I've even had tournaments at our ranch on our courses outside my front door and didn't play in them yet. So I had to travel halfway around the world to get my first. But yeah, every year it's figuring out new discs that I added to the bag since. I play a lot of disc golf. There's no doubt. I travel and play a lot of courses, but for sanctioned tournaments, I play a handful these days. But looking forward to another crack at Hagley, new configuration, slightly more on the back, very heavy on the par fours. And yeah, we'll see what the conditions kind of serve up this weekend. But looking forward to having another crack at it.
Yeah, I think the conditions could really play a part. They were almost perfect last year. Very hot and sunny. Or maybe a bit too hot, but other than that, it was very, very good conditions. I don't think you're going to get the same this year, unfortunately.
Well, you guys are kicking off early. Ella, I believe you're on first cut of the weekend. Is that correct?
Yep, I believe so.
Yeah, 8:30. Yeah, there we go. 8:30. Followed by another FPO card, and then Avery and Mav, I believe, are both on 8:50. Yeah, there we go, 8:50. You guys are first MPO card off, third card of the day. I think you're going to have some pretty decently calm weather, maybe a little bit of moisture around, but I think you'll be in for the win with no wind to start. Touch wood again.
Yeah. It's going to be a little cold. I know it's going to be pretty chilly in the morning.
It's still tropical out here. It's still tropical.
Yeah.
I don't know where you are. So, Maverick, this weekend, you did very well last year. Was it fourth that you came last year? Have I got my memory that right?
I think it was sixth.
Oh, really? Because I remember you were on the lead card going into that on the final round, eh? And I think was it hole 18 that didn't play too well for you. We won't dwell on it, but have you? What are your goals for this weekend?
Getting on top card again. That is definitely the goal, and I feel really good about the course. There was a couple of little bit of tweaks here and there that I feel like helped my game a lot. Coming from Colorado, it's a lot of big bombs, a lot of hyzer golf out there. So I think this course actually plays to a lot of my strong suits a lot. So I'm excited to get out there, and I will be on top card again.
There you go. You've had some good golf already this year. Just looking through your placings already this year. First, fourth, a little bit of a slip to 12th, and then third. So
yeah,
some really good golf already this season, dude. I keep an eye on you. And yeah, I think you're going to get right up there on top card right after. Well, you'll be on top card from the start of the day. We'll put it that way.
I don't know how much you've followed New Zealand disc golf whilst you were away or not. I guess whilst you were away. Who the players are, who the kind of who the movers have been. There are a few players around that weren't around last time you played. Have you got any sense of who might be playing well and who might be gunning for a win?
I know the Stouts are around. Seb, I think he's going to catch a stride here really
Yeah.
soon. Those are the couple guys that I know already. We are playing with Jonathan Wake tomorrow, and I'm excited to play
Yeah.
with him. I've heard he's been kicking around the scene a little
Well,
bit.
you say that. So he didn't. The first time he threw a disc golf disc was Boxing Day 2022, right? So just over a year ago, and he's what now 970 rated or something, and 960 rated. But that he threw a 1030 at the weekend. It's great fun. He's great fun. And if you do get into trouble with the trees, he's an arborist, so he'll probably chop it down for you to get that disc down. So there you go.
These are out here, of course.
Yeah, I mean, in 2023, his first year playing disc golf, and he took 2 firsts, a third, a fourth, and then a few other ones that are close to that, and then a first, a second, and a couple other
He's who
slightly further up there placings this year.
I shall be cheering him on. He's he's a bit of a fan favourite.
He's a fan favourite on the show. That's for real.
Absolutely.
That's for real. I've never met him, and he's the person I cheer for every week in, week out.
Well, you get
What's up round up?
well, you'll get to meet him this weekend, Morgan. So yeah, it's actually a really packed field, that MPO field. I think that there's probably one of you could the top card, the league card, you could pick 4 of probably close to 12, 16 players. You could pick 4 out of, and you wouldn't be that wouldn't be too wrong to pick those people. And it's an incredibly deep field as you go further down as well, MA1, MA2, etc. What are you going to be doing after you finished your round? Because obviously, if you start at Ella, your round starts at 8:30, so you'll be done by what, 11:30 probably, midday, maybe slightly before. What are your plans for the afternoon?
Yeah, what are your plans?
Yeah, what do you got going on?
Whatever they're doing, I'm doing.
We'll get into something. We're waiting for Morgan to get here so he can show us around. We got some sights and scenes in Littleton we got to check out.
Yeah.
Tradition these days. So.
Tradition these days, 100%.
I hear more.
Got to be in the
I
know.
hear Morgan needs a caddy. Is that right, Morgan?
Dude, I'll always take a caddy.
Excellent. And then obviously after this weekend, you head up north to Armageddon, to Nelson to play there. What have you seen of that course?
We saw it last year when we came through Nelson, stayed with Tommy Strawbridge, and he took us out to Redstone. Tom.
Yeah.
We saw it. We did play a round. It was probably our 42nd round of the week. So we definitely got a loop out there, but looking forward to going back and seeing what it's about. I know some tweaks and changes that Hayden had kind of reevaluated the course a little bit, and we'll see what those are. But before that, we're planning on tackling the North Island this year. Nothing like we did last year. We're trying to play all the courses. We're going to try for quality over quantity this time and really hit some of the big banger, highly rated courses. So we're looking to hear any recommendations, top 5 on the North Island. We want to hear what we need to play and what we need to check out. I think we know a few of them already, but
Put it in the chat.
Put it in the
top
chat.
5.
Okay, so you've got to get. You have
coming
to.
in hot.
You have to get to Topol.
And,
you have to get to Topol. That's a must. I'm gonna shout out Wellington. You've got to come to Wellington and play at least one of the free courses here.
In the ferry of Picton, right to Wellington. So
that is it. When are you going to be in Wellington?
Monday.
Day off is it, Matt?
Well, I've got the day off on Monday anyway. It's Easter Monday, so
of course.
I might see. I'll be in touch. I'll be in touch and see if we can hook something up. And I'll take you around Hikoikoi or Harkle Park or one of them.
And then anybody that's watching the show right now, we're making our move around the North Island in a pretty good loop and a pretty good pace. So you might see us at your home course, possibly. Again, more quality over quantity this time. Plan on going to New Plymouth at some point, getting up to Auckland, getting to Spa Park. I know it's in the center of North Island, and then trying to hit that West Coast possibly. But we have time constraints. We need to make it back to Nelson by Friday, midday sometime, get a practice round in, and then starts on
So are
Saturday.
you guys looking for some accommodation? Can anyone in the chat help these guys out? Are you looking for accommodation?
Oh,
There we go. And then Ella's going on a solo scenic South Island road trip. Not sure her plans. We're going to give her some, recommendations of places that we went. She's going to go on her own adventure and check out, the beautiful sights and scenes of South Island.
Nice. Well, if you want to come and play an unsanctioned super chill disc golf tourney where we'll just be having some beers and chill times, it's the following Saturday after Armageddon in the middle of nowhere.
For sure.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like you've got it all planned out then, and you gonna. I mean, you were incredibly busy last time you came. It was incredible hearing everything that was going on, and really good to hear that you're doing the same again. It sounds like you're gonna have to come back more than once a year if you're going to keep up with all the new courses that are going in the ground, though.
You're right. We do need to come back more often, and it's all about trying to play all the courses. I think we're like vested right now. We need to play them all eventually. So I think it definitely warrants more trips here, and maybe multiple times a year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe clear that one with the boss.
Yeah. Gotta bring
Excellent.
ball.
Look, we're not going to keep you any longer because you've all got early tea times tomorrow, and you may well want to be getting some rest before that starts. So look, very best of luck to all of your games tomorrow. I shall be following it. Morgan, you'll be on your way there probably whilst they're teeing off.
I'll be there. I'll try and wave from a distance and not put you off. I do have one question. Do you have a room full of people behind you?
They showed some respect. We had the whole MDG editing crew, film crew. They're back here. They're all gathering in the meeting room of the living room right now. I think there's a whole house full. Like Leon's house is full.
Yeah.
Weekend, as you know.
What's up to all the MDG media crew? Thank you, Ella.
Yeah.
Thank you, Avery. Thank you, Mav. I'll see you guys all tomorrow.
Yeah. Look, have
Awesome.
a good one. We'll speak to you again. All
Thanks,
right.
Matt.
Yep.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Morgs.
See you guys.
Later. Cheers.
There we go. It sounds like they've got a fantastic trip planned outside of this weekend, Morgan. It sounds like they've got an outstanding trip coming up.
Yeah, it does. I didn't realize Ella was sticking around for a bit more of a mission around the south. That's cool to hear. I'll definitely be sure to point her in a few of the directions of the cool things to do around the south, disc golf related. Go and see some of the awesome sights and sounds we've got down here.
Absolutely, and I'm definitely going to see if I can meet up with Avery and Maverick and take them on a tour around some of the Wellington courses, which have a lot to offer. I think, and yeah. Anyway, right, let's get into it. Let's have a look at the event this weekend. And Morgan, I made the comment just before that actually there's really any one of this is really tough to call as to who's going to win this.
Yeah, I've gone off that page. Sorry, 2 seconds. There we go. I was looking up Mr. Jonathan Wake. Obviously, I lost my page. Yeah, it is super hard to call because I think with the level of talent that's playing this weekend, it can come down to not only the weather, it could honestly come down to how good your coffee was in the morning because these guys, there's nothing between so many of them.
That's it. So, I mean, let's just go through some of the people who could well take this out. Maxime Tonge is a beast. We've seen him play very well here in the past, and is the highest rated player going into this weekend by relatively quite some distance, 15 ratings points. And he'll be wanting to play well after perhaps he might be disappointed with his showing in the in some of the Tour Down Under events. So we'll be wanting to make a difference here in front of the MDG cameras. And then you've got Joseph Berry, fresh off a win at Makaripi.
Yeah, coming off the back of a really good win, 2 or 3 strokes. I think 3 strokes in the end. Yeah, man, Joe's just such a beast. We keep throwing that word around, but he really is just such a beast right now. Has been for quite a while now, and when it comes to New Zealand disc golf, between him and a couple others, it's so hard to write them off from being in that top pole position, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And then so Avery, we've just spoken about, rated at 979, played below his rating and ranking last year. So I think we'll be wanting some vengeance on the course and the field. Francis Orange is so consistent now, putting in. He's always thereabouts. I mean, he's taken out the win. I think it was at Lismore late last year. But he's always thereabouts. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the top 5 at all.
You know, it's quite funny. I actually think back to 12 months ago, GCO, we were playing on a card together. I don't believe it was first round. So he was probably down the list a little bit with me. And to see where he is now through 12 months of clearly dedicated disc golf is just fantastic. We bring him up almost every week, and just seeing that rating climb and climb and climb, and the wins and the placings coming in, he's really making a name for himself out here.
That's it. Ethan Stout obviously won this tournament last year. Can he defend the title?
Yeah, to be honest, other than TDU, I haven't personally seen Ethan playing too much in person. I'd love to say yes, but I think he's up against it this weekend. And that's just simply because of who's there, and not saying he can't do it, because he absolutely can. He did it last year, and he always gets good results. So, yeah.
That's it.
As I said at the top, I don't know what to say about this one, man.
It's so close, eh?
Could go in either way.
It's so close, because you've got Maverick, Sebastian could all do very well. Luke Holston's been playing some very good disc golf. And then that's before you get to Ashton Clark, who's ranked third in the country currently. And Jonathan Wake, who, he's a very much friend of the show.
Johnny Wake.
And then you go into like the page 2, if you like, and if this was if this field here on its own was its own tournament, you'd be saying that's a pretty stacked field.
Yeah.
And it's like page 2 of MPO, so it's going to be incredible to watch and incredible to follow. So if you are on one of the later cards, you've got an absolute treat of some choices to go and watch tomorrow morning. If you fancy having a wander around the course, and actually, if you're playing on one of the later cards, I'd be going. Let's have a look at how some of these pros are playing the lines that I might.
Come check out the 10-15 card. I'll be there.
There it is. That's the feature card. That's the one I've heard. That's
the feature card.
The party card is what I've heard.
I did not realise I've got TD Ewan Craig on my card. I did not realise that. I love it.
You do?
I love it, Ewan. Yes, I love it.
Let's have a look at FPO then. So we expect Ella to win. She's got quite a big ratings point gap and over Haley. Michelle played well at the weekend. At Makaripi, and then you've got Amy, Michaela, who's been playing very well, and Megan as well. I don't know anything about Hannah Starzinski from Canada, unfortunately. But again, that FPO field is pretty stacked.
Yeah, it's awesome. I can't wait to see what happens here. Honestly, no offense to our ladies, because they're all amazing, but I do think Ella's going to put some massive separation between herself and the rest of the field. Yeah. Well,
we'll see what happens. What's also good is they're playing on the same 2 cards the whole weekend, right? So it's going to be incredibly close. 2 times one after another. So any movement between rounds there is going to be felt. And
anyone that gets to play on a card. Anyone that gets to play on a card with Ella this weekend is obviously going to learn a few things as well. So that's going to be super beneficial for them going into next week, the week after, the week after, the week after. It's they'll take a lot from this weekend.
Absolutely. Quite a little compact MP40 field, but look, it's very competitive nonetheless. I think any of those top 4 could really take it out. Mikey Hughes obviously bringing the form in from last weekend, but Jay Pukipuki's been playing well too.
Yeah, and Johnny Ferrari, man, this is, again, I think I said it last week, even where we weren't covering the show, it's another ball golf style course, which he's used to at Queen's Park. in Invercargill. I think he's going to do really well this
I think he
weekend.
started off a bit slow last year from memory, and so might want to come out the gates a little bit quicker. Funnily enough, I played MP40 last year. I don't know why, but yeah, I got to play. Did I play with Johnny? I don't think I did. But I think he came out the blocks a little bit slow. Nearly ended up on a card with me, which would have been a disaster for him. So again, very compact. All playing on the same two cards the whole weekend. It's really, really good to see. But this is fantastic.
But then the opposite of compact, MA1 Matt.
MA1. So Jeremy Little, I know very little about. We presume that obviously his rating is higher than a lot of the other people in MA1, so we'll keep an eye on that. But Jin brings some form into this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Jin's bringing in some super hot form, so excited to see what my guy can do right here. And then right below him, another very good friend of mine, George Mossy from Invercargill. I'm excited to see him compete this weekend along with his good mate, John O'Brown. These guys can both do some awesome work this weekend, I think, on this course.
And that's not before you discount Sam Lycan, who's the highest ranked player in MA1 this weekend. So, I mean...
Yeah, no discounting anyone at all here. It's it's going to be tight
MA1's
again.
all over the place as it is already. I mean,
Yeah.
before you even looked at it, but it's absolutely stacked.
And I mean, we can go as far down as 871 rated Reece Jones, who 2 weeks ago shot a 17 down in Nelson. Can't remember the course, sorry. But he's shooting some super hot golf as well. His rating just doesn't reflect his ability right now. Just doesn't play a heck of a lot of tournament golf.
FA1, Alison Tweedy could take this one out again. She's the highest ranked. Victoria Spell is still ranked higher, I think. We'll get onto the power rankings in a second. But Alison obviously took out the victory last weekend and will be wanting to repeat it this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Both these ladies are amazing, and Stephanie as well, obviously. I would personally like to see Victoria take the win this week, just to keep that flame between the two, especially going, because man, these ladies are having a serious heated battle across the whole country right now.
And I think it's actually really good for Alison's game that she's got someone there who's going to push her in her division. That's a very credible threat. And it's not just going to be, she's going to have to think, she's going to have to play well, and going to have to focus for the whole tournament if she's going to want to take it out.
Yeah.
Then move to MA40, the best division. What do we think here?
Let me see. Let me change these ratings.
Now,
Hayden Shaw.
Yeah, you think Hayden's going to take it? Fair enough. No, he's been playing very well and has also taken out quite a few of the MA40 tournaments recently. Personally, I'll be cheering on the two old farts there, Phil McLeod and Brett Carlisle. I'll be cheering those guys on and hoping that they can pull off some heroics tomorrow and over the weekend. I also shout out to future guest host Arne Burgess as well. Very best of luck to Arne playing in MA40 this weekend also. Over in FA40. I think Kath Headley might be looking favourite for this one.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's got obviously a lot of ratings points. She just had a win at Makaripi last weekend. We just went over that, didn't we? She had a win. Did I get that right?
Yes. No, sorry, it wasn't. She didn't. No, she didn't play at Makaripi.
No, has she just had a win recently though? Has she not?
Oh, it might have been. She certainly played very well at.
I can open up her page. Okay, so she's had a first, a second, a third, a second, and a third. The most recent being a third. Okay, just open.
Always been thereabouts, just kind of waiting for that. I don't know, for that big win, that big tournament win. I think this certainly counts as a big tournament. So yeah, very best of luck to Kath. I'll be cheering her on local Wellingtonian. Also, let's head into MA50. Very competitive division as always here. Could be any of these guys could take this out. Gregor might be favourite.
Yep. I think Gregor is the clear favourite. Not that the ratings reflect that. I think he probably is the clear favourite. Chris Davies on home soil, Andrew Falconer, Leon Bow, they're all on home soil. And then Mr. Mark Tebbit is always right there in the mix as well. So, last time we picked him, I believe he might have got the win. So, shall I be picking Mark Tebbs again? Go on, Tebbs. You got this, brother.
Let's see. MA2. MA2 is very stacked. Finn Rumours, it's worth picking out here. He took out the MA2 division, I believe, at the Dystopia the other week. Yep. So played very well in that division. So I would say look out for him. I think he's still a junior. I think he's very young. I played with him. I played on the same, or at least I saw him playing at Rapper Rumble at the end of last year, and was a junior. So we'll see.
Was he a junior, or did he just look young?
No,
you're kind of old.
No, he was competing in the juniors, and I'm sure. Have I got? Is my memory all over the place? No. See, look, NJ18 placed MA1 there, and if I'm right, 2023 Rapper Rumble. Rapper Rumble, there we go, placed first in MJ18, and actually played MJ15 last year. So he's more of a junior than meets the eye. So yeah, if he played 15s last year, he's at least he's no older than 16 this year. So yeah, it's a very good performance by Finn. We'll be seeing if he can go incredibly deep division. Just keeps going. FA2, they're all playing against each other for the whole weekend, and this is going to be close. This is a really tough one to call.
I mean, I don't know any of the ladies personally, but just looking at ratings alone and some of the results we've had come in over the last couple of months, yeah, I wouldn't know how to pick this one. Maybe you go with Jessica being the local lady, and that's all we can go off of. Oh, and Chelsea Pryor. Sorry, I missed that one there.
It's going to be close. There's storylines all over the place. MA3, slightly smaller division. Joseph Ball, Cameron Wu are names that we recognise. And yeah, so yeah, difficult one to pick out. I know less about these players. My apologies. But I'm sure there'll be battles going on all the way down. Same with the FA3 ladies. Again, really good to see actually that this is happening, right? Chat, what do you think of this, right? Everybody on a card of 4 in FA3. Now, there's some tournaments where you split everyone up in the first round and you kind of play with whoever. But what the Elite Series and GCO have made the decision to do here is to put everybody on the same card if you're in the same division right off the bat. Morgan, what's the thought here? You're the tournament director of the Elite Series. How does this?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, aside from the fact that once you get into B and A tiers, it's actually past a recommendation and it's required, especially at an A tier and above, to be in your division. It's just how it should be.
Yeah.
Personal feelings are just how it should be. Like Queenstown Classic this weekend, I had a really good time. I started off my first round with 2 ladies and an MA40. So I didn't really feel like I had the competitive edge going off of there. Like in my mind, I should be, no offense to them, but I should be smashing them. I really should on my course. And I just didn't really have that drive to get going, where I think it's just the right thing to do to be in your divisions right from the get-go, be in that constant battle right from hole 1.
Yeah.
That's my personal feelings outside of what the requirements are from PDGA, from the start.
I think it depends on the event, right? So I think when you're looking at an Elite Series event, which is obviously part of a tour, it's a very prestigious event, and it's arguably it's different to playing a kind of a local C tier, if you like. Whereas I see the kind of the local C tiers, that's the opportunity to mix people up in the first round if that's what you want to do.
Local C tier though, when you're talking about that, are you talking about just me and the Queenstown guys playing? I'm just using Queenstown example. Or are we talking about a tour event, NZDG tour event like Speenit this weekend? Well, what do you think should happen there?
So
even at a C tier.
Okay, so majors and elite series, because there's so few of them, I think it's important. I think you should be divisioned from the start, and then obviously after the second round, it should automatically go seeded by division. For the first round, for what I would describe as local C tiers, and I'd even go as far to call Queenstown Classic a local C tier. I would argue that if you want to mix people up in that first round, then you can. It's the bigger events. It's your elite series and your majors where it has to happen, in my view. There's no kind of there should be no kind of discussion about it. It should just be, well, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were 2 rounds of mixed divisions all of Saturday.
Okay.
We were mixed at Queenstown Classic this year. I personally feel any tour event shouldn't be mixed from the get-go.
Okay.
As best as you can. Obviously, numbers dictate what's happening in some cards. It's just as best as a TD can. But I don't think on any tour standard event that it should even be a thing anymore.
It's funny because in New Zealand we don't really have a tranche of tournaments that isn't that. Do you know what I mean? So we've got majors, we've got NZDG tour events, we've got elite series, and then that's pretty much all the tournaments. There's not too many that fall outside of that. Dystopia last weekend was an example of one, and obviously Montana Flat is another one, and that's unsanctioned, so you can do what you like.
Yeah, you can.
So, so I think that we just don't have that kind of that other tranche of tournaments that don't quite make it onto the NZDG tour, probably because the NZDG tour's got such a low bar of requirements to get in.
Yeah. Stephen Dory in the chat just here going, mix up the amateur divisions that are playing the same course. Bit silly that those 4 women have to play each other no matter how well they are playing. Yeah, and he goes, agree with pro division. So that is another way you can look at it, is if you are going to mix, you shouldn't be mixing pros and AMs. It's another good way to look at it.
That's fair. Yeah. Something else that's happening this weekend is that the MA40 and other cards. I know that there'll be so the blue, I think it is the red and the blue, and there's a green as well. So green is different tees, if I think I've got this right.
Yep.
Blue and red are the same tees,
different pars,
but different pars. Yep. Now, I don't know how this works in the background, but I've a feeling, and I think I might have changed my mind on this since I had a discussion about this in our old farts chat, about how is this going to affect ratings, right? So will the ratings for the blue and the red course be calculated separately because they're two separate courses? Or will the fact that they're essentially the same course, there's just par and par's just a number, that the ratings the propagators from both divisions will be used to calculate each other's? And
no, it shouldn't be like that. It'll be from each one.
So I think that's interesting because someone who is playing the blue course could end up with a different, and I suspect lower rating than someone playing the red course, where if they shoot the same score, won't be the same par, but it will be the same score. But I think that's interesting.
It's a different course completely, though. Really, I mean, it's same course, some different tees, but yeah, it is an interesting one. It's a pretty good point and speaking topic. It's probably one for me, which would be better suited to bring in my stat man Adam Rhymes. Oh, he's not here. Bugger.
It's not a criticism. It's simply an observation.
Yeah, for sure.
And the other thing you could counter to that is that if a hole is a par 4 compared to it being a par 3, people play the hole differently. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think, generally speaking, people are more aggressive on a par 3 than they are for the eagle on a par 4. Is that a fair comment?
right off the bat, I was agreeing, and I'm just having a bit of a think about it because it's very hole specific.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course. But
Yeah.
but I mean, I think that there are a few. There's several holes that I can think of that where this is the case, where you look at it and go, if this was a par 4, how would I play it differently? And actually, it's some of the conversations that I've had with beginners that I've taken round, who have been like, I've tried this hole and I can't get better than a 5 on it. And I'm like, okay, well, don't stop trying to take a par then. Try to start with to take a 4. If you were playing this hole to play in 4, how would you play it? Would you play it any differently? And the answer is likely yes. Even though the layout's the same, if you know you've got that extra shot, I think the temptation to play for a birdie on a par 4 is way more appetizing than playing for a par on a par 3, even though the whole layout is exactly the same. So yeah, I think that's the only thing that might come into it. So just it's an FYI that and it'll be interesting actually. We'll have a look at the ratings when they come out. You could find actually that given the breadth of fields in both divisions, that actually it evens itself out, especially if there's some weather about. And so we'll see when we get there. Some pretty stacked junior divisions.
Hugely.
Magnus Davidson is arguably favourite going into MJ15, and Sarah Wadsworth will be up against local Mackenzie Craig in
There you go.
in FJ15.
Have you seen that Sarah Wadsworth and Alison Tweedy are teaming up for FJ15 Junior World's Dub?
I haven't.
Yeah, that's the one.
I haven't. No, that's exciting.
Yeah, they
That
are.
is exciting.
I did hear this last weekend at the Queenstown Classic talking to Alison and Jeff, but I think they might have made it official today. I've seen a bit of a post about
Fantastic.
it. So that's pretty cool. The girls are going to take it on there. And just one other thing with the ladies is something that I did come across in the last 24 hours. Amy Whitmore is now the highest rated FA40 player in the
Oh,
world.
she really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
NZDSS is Amy Whitmore.
That's incredible.
Highest rated in the
That's
world.
incredible.
It is. Yeah. It's incredible because I swear she's 26.
She certainly doesn't look 40. We said it before, but I don't. Is she on the Masters? There she is. Global Masters Series 2024, rank number 1. So the Masters Series, for anybody who is unsure, is a ranking series for all of the Masters players in the world. Any Masters player can go in and see where they are. And what it does is it averages your best 8 rated rounds of the last year, I think, and takes an average of them, just a straight mean. And Amy is their number 1 by quite some distance, actually, over nine rating points over Lord Herrera. So yeah, congratulations and well done to Amy Whitmore. That's fantastic to see. Yeah, really good. Right, Morgan. Let's have a look at power rankings, shall we? Because there has been some changes following the Queenstown Classic and Makaripi this weekend just gone.
Matt, somewhere along the way, our screen that we see in the background's changed. I actually can't see what you're looking at. If you wouldn't mind, Seth, if you could just change that over.
Of course. 1 second.
Thank you very much. How's everyone in the chat doing? The chat is going off. There is a lot going on over here, guys. Magnus is a machine. Tom Strawbridge, Amy's 19.
We've heard it all before. Right. Let's have a look. These are the upcoming events we've got. Obviously, Garden City Open is sold out. It's Elite Series 4 or 5. Next week, we're going to be looking at the leaderboards of the Elite Series to see who's in the running to take out the Elite Series, because there's some pretty sweet prizes up for grabs. And so you're going to want to tune in there to see who's going to be gunning for it going into Armageddon, which is the weekend after, 6th and 7th of April, the final event. Montana Flat at Riversdale is Morgan's unsanctioned free-for-all, so head down there if you want a good time. Brook Park Brave at Tequity is at the end of April, followed by the Lords and Ladies of Lismore and Hanmer Hot Rounds in early May. Then there's the Women's Global event. Excuse me, there's 4 events. 4 events. There is no excuse for you not to get to one of these events if you're a lady and you want to play some disc golf. Get your wives, your girlfriends, your daughters, your nieces, your aunties, your grandmas, get them all involved and get them along to one of these events, because if they're anything like the ones that I've witnessed being run in the past, they're absolutely fantastic. So get yourself along. Some great players packs in for many of the events as well. And then Sub-Zero on the 6th and 7th of July. The registration for that opens in 3 days' time.
And one more that I came across just before the show is Nottingham Giants. The sequel is May 31st to June 2nd, which will be on the NZDG Tour 2024-2025 edition.
We shall add that in. So now looking at the power rankings, you've got in FPO, Michelle Simpson moves up 1 spot thanks to her victory, if you like, at Macaripi. Alison Tweedy climbs 8 spots to 5th, following her win over Victoria Speller. Abigail Sterling climbs 1 spot. Also, the players highlighted are those playing this weekend and the divisions that they're up against, relative divisions they're up against. So the yellow is FPO, blue is FA1, and green is Masters. Over in MPO, Joseph Berry climbs 6 spaces to 6th. Hemi and Mikey Yu both climb 3 spaces up to 15th and 16th respectively, thanks to their tie. Marie, the Sweet Chain websites, I've had a few technical issues with it recently and have not been able to do the updating. It's going to be undergoing a little bit of an overhaul, so it might be offline for a week or 2 while that happens. So apologies. But yeah, looking at that, you've got the 3rd, 5th, 6th, 8th, 10th, 12th, and 14th best ranked or best players in New Zealand right now, all playing this weekend, along with the 16th, 17th, and 18th as well. So we shall see how that goes. Anyway, that's about it from us for this week. A very best of luck to everybody who is playing at GCO this weekend. Morgan, very best of luck to you. I hope you get...
Very best of luck getting out of bed.
Yeah, I was going to say, good luck getting up in the morning and getting to Christchurch on time. Don't miss your tea time. I shall be watching to make sure that your score comes in at the same time as everyone else, and you're not par +4. So yeah, we shall look forward to that. So very best of luck to everybody who's playing at GCO and wherever you're playing disc golf. Take it easy, play well, get some birdies, and we'll see you